Hello, students. This week we are going to learn about form and Frank Lloyd Wright. A form is a three-dimensional shape that has length, width, and depth. A form is different from a shape, which is just two-dimensional and flat. Here's some examples of forms. Can you think of some forms that exist in real life? For instance, here's a picture of a cone shape in an ice cream cone, or a box, which is a rectangular prism, a sphere, which is a beach ball, cylinder, can of soup. And I bet you could look around you right now and you would see some other shapes that are common forms like these. We're also going to learn about architecture. Architecture is the art of designing and making buildings. It is a job that people can do, and it's really cool. And buildings like this one here are basically just giant three-dimensional forms too. They are rectangular prisms. We're also going to learn about Frank Lloyd Wright. He was a famous architect who made some really cool buildings, as you can see here, and we're going to look at some more. We're also going to make our own buildings today. You're going to be architects. So, more about Frank Lloyd Wright. He was known for using lots of different shapes in his buildings. Some of his favorite shapes to use were circles, triangles, and rectangles, as you can see in these three buildings that he designed. He was also famous for making buildings that were inspired by nature. It was important to him to try and make his buildings blend in with their natural surroundings. For instance, look at this building called Falling Water. He built it right over a waterfall. What different shapes and forms can you see in some of these other buildings designed by Frank Lloyd Wright? I know that I see a few circles, triangles, some rectangles, maybe the windows and the bricks. There's a lot of shapes that you see in these two photos. What other forms and shapes do you see in these ones? Also, imagine if your house looked like one of these buildings. What would that be like? What shapes and forms do you see here? These are another couple of buildings that he designed. They look very different from each other. All right, now it's time to make our own buildings, and there's going to be one of two different ways that you can do it. As you see, I have two examples here, but you need to make sure that after you watch this video, you click on the instructions video. That's going to tell you how to make your house.